What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to week 14 of the fantasy football season. It is, it's time. It has gone quickly, but here we are. Hopefully, Derek, the people watching the show are on the brink of the playoffs, or they are already in the playoffs, because today, for most leagues, it's the final week of the regular season. So how you doing, and more importantly, how your team's doing?
Oh, how's it going, everybody? How's it going? I'm feeling fine. This is the week that I'm kind of just in limbo.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in third. I can't go up, I can't go down. I'm gonna be the 3 seed. So
there you go.
Today doesn't really matter much for me, but I still put the team out there.
Yes.
We still give it our all.
Right.
Because there are other people fighting for playoff spots, and the person that I'm playing, is one of those people. So, I'm not just gonna lie down so they get the spot over everybody else.
Yeah, and that's good.
So
and hopefully, the people that, pop into the stream, hopefully whether you're in the playoffs or you're out or you're fighting for position, hopefully for the integrity and the sake of your league and the other players in it, hopefully you're a good sport and you put together a quality team. You don't just have dudes on buys. And by the way, how crazy is it that we have buys this late in the season? But ahead in the show, we are going to talk a little bit of daily fantasy. We are going to get to your questions, but let's get into it here. Let's start with the storylines. And obviously, Derek, this is the final week of the fantasy regular season, and there are a lot of things in flux. We're having to deal with injuries, we're having to deal with bye weeks, and we're having to deal with weather. You mentioned before we came on, Isaiah Pacheco is out against the Buffalo Bills. Dawson Knox could be back. More than likely is back for the Bills. What does that mean for Dalton Kincaid? Dallas Goedert more than likely returns for the Eagles. Trevor Lawrence is sounding like a game time decision. And then we've got weather. I mean, I'm about an hour away. I'm about an hour away from where that game between the Texans and Jets is being played, and they are calling for some very horrific conditions. Oh, hello, Mrs. Klee. Hi.
Oh, snap.
Hi.
Roflo's tuning in on my Facebook, so he saw you. Thanks for the coffee. That's the wife.
Hey, that's nice. That's very nice. That's very nice. So I think I want to start there. So if you have C.J. Stroud, and I know that there's a lot of playoff teams or teams that are fighting for playoff positioning, they probably have him on the lineup. I would say, depending on what the rest of your roster looks like, I would have real concerns about starting C.J. Stroud or any other Texans pass catchers. Obviously, no Tank Dell, but that means Nico Collins, Robert Woods, Noah Brown, who's questionable. So I've got real questions about that entire Texans offense taking on the Jets in these conditions.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I see everybody on Facebook. I'm seeing some questions already, like for Mario. Keep those questions. Make sure to have those when we start answering questions again, and I will definitely get these in. I see you've got some stuff right there, so make sure you type that in again here, Mario, here a little bit later when we're putting in when we're answering these questions. No, you guys don't hear RoFlow either. This is just my point of view. If you guys want to hear the whole show, go to twitch.tv/realroflow or youtube.com/realroflow. He is live streaming. We're live streaming on both. So I just wanted to make sure that we got that out of there. And as far as Texans Jets is concerned, yeah, I'm glad that I don't have to worry about seeding today because I have Noah Brown and Devin Singletary, and I don't know what is going on out there. So
Yeah.
I'm excited that I don't have to worry about scoring a lot of points to make the playoffs. But if you
Right.
are if you are somebody that has to get in and you have some of these guys, I think Singletary might be a better play than maybe some of the receivers, just for the simple fact that they're probably going to have to run the rock a considerable amount today.
Well, I think, and also the other complication that factors into this Texans offense, particularly the backfield, is that I believe it's in the past couple of weeks, it's turned into a true committee because Damian Pierce is starting to get his lion's share of the carries. And I think that, Derek, they're really just going with the hot hand. And that makes it really difficult for fantasy managers out there. So if you have Devin Singletary, he's had some big weeks for you. I think maybe he's a downgraded to a flex position. If you're Damian,
definitely flex guy now.
If you're Damian Pierce, if you have him on a roster, I mean it's just a flex only, and it might be a little bit of a dart throw. So just keep an eye out. Just be wary of what the weather conditions are going to be like, because you can see the over under for the Jets and Texans has been dropping steadily. I don't know what it is right now. I think it's just over 31, maybe 32 points. Maybe you can keep me honest on that, but I would just
I think it's 31 and a half right now. Yeah, it's not looking good. But I will say we've seen a couple teams this year play in some adverse conditions and make it happen. So I'm not saying that CJ Stroud and these guys can't still, he still can't throw for 250 and 2 touchdowns. That's definitely realistic and possible. Just don't bank your season on it, please. Do not bank your season on it.
And that's what makes it tough. That's what makes it really tough. I mean, because a lot of situations that people that have Stroud in their lineups, this is a win and in scenario, lose and go home kind of thing. So this is a very, very tough decision. Another return is more than likely you got Justin Jefferson's return for the Minnesota Vikings. I know Joshua Dobbs threw it to the other team with alarming frequency in his last time out before the bye week. But I still feel pretty good about Joshua Dobbs, and I really want to see how he looks with Justin Jefferson, because remember, he hasn't played with him since Jefferson has been hurt.
No, yeah, that's exactly it. I'm curious to see what it looks like too, but honestly, Justin Jefferson is Justin Jefferson. He's open at all times, essentially. So
yeah, I mean,
it's one of those things where, I think it helps out Dobbs tremendously. Obviously, that's pretty self-explanatory. But the good news is that if you do have Jefferson, this is what I always like, is I like to see a guy come back right before the playoffs, because if that's the case, at least they get some reps in. So he's going to have this week to get some reps in, see what he does, get some fantasy points, all that good stuff. But you'll kind of see what shape he's in, what that connection a little bit looks like going into the playoffs, so you're not kind of blinded going in and saying, well, I have Justin Jefferson, but is he even going to be viable? So that's the thing that we've got to look at there. But I think Justin Jefferson's going to be fine, but it's good that you guys he gets a week to ramp up before the playoffs here for fantasy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, real quick, Little Man 690 wanting to know, so are you saying start Stroud or not? Little Man, I really think it depends on what your fantasy league, what the rest of your roster looks like. Who are your options? Hi, Nathan H. How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us on YouTube. So, Little Man, I'd want to know what other quarterback you either have on your roster or is available on the waiver wire. I mean,
100%.
I think it's just as simple as that. The thing with Stroud, he can move a little bit in the pocket. Maybe he runs, although he's not really a runner. When he does scramble, he looks to scramble to throw. So I think, Little Man, we'd have to know what your other options you have. So get back to us on that. Hi, Goaty McGoat. How you doing? Thanks for joining us on Twitch. Okay, so let's get into our next topic, what we like to call him or him. So we're gonna give you two guys, and we're gonna pick which one we think would be the guy to start this week, okay? This week, obviously a huge week. So our first one, let's stay with the quarterback position. And our man Louis misspelled Justin Herbert here.
Why do I do this every time, Ruffalo?
I don't know.
Every Sunday, I drink this coffee and I know it's hot and I just swing it on back and then burn myself.
It's too good. It's too good. Okay, Justin Herbert or Jordan Love this week. Let me read you the last 4 weeks for Justin Herbert. Last 5 weeks, as far as
Give us some knowledge. Give us some knowledge here.
As far as fantasy production, 7.14 fantasy points. 37.42 fantasy points, followed that up with 29.7. And then week 12, 15.38. And then last week, bottoming out at 7.98. Meantime, Justin Love, he has scored at least 20 fantasy points in now 4 straight games. They're taking on the Giants on Monday night. The worst of the weather should be cleared out by then. He's also 10th in rushing yards among quarterbacks, which I found to be very interesting. So, of course,
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you've got the San Diego Chargers. They are taking on the Denver Broncos. Their defense is better. In fact, their defense has gotten a lot better, significantly better since they gave up those 70 points to the Miami Dolphins. And they've also done a real good job of controlling other quarterbacks. Stroud didn't have the kind of game that we've been seeing. So I think in this situation, if you're asking me Jordan Love or Justin Herbert, I might go Jordan Love here. What do you think?
Oh man, I don't think it's. I think Herbert's still a great quarterback. I think this has to do more with the coach than anything else, in my opinion. Man, just based off of matchups, it's
because the Giants, we know that the Giants' offense, defense has no pass rush. They're having problem. I mean,
they give up the third most. They give up the third most points to wide receivers. They give up the top 10 points to tight. I mean, they literally give up points to every position. Yeah. So, I feel like my biggest thing is when it comes to playoff time, you want to try to stick with guys that you think are going to be consistent for you and are going to get you double-digit fantasy points. For the quarterback position, that's 20 or more. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with Jordan Love too. This is crazy that Justin Herbert is being I think it's crazy to think about that. But, yeah, I think I would go with Jordan Love too. I just want to be safe, especially if I'm trying to make the playoffs today. I want to make sure I get 20 from the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Because not getting at least 20 from the quarterback position today will really put a hurting on your chances of moving on if that's what you need.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Hey, Slick, thanks for being a sub, man. Hang tight. That's a very good question. We can't wait to answer it in just a second. Okay.
Steven, you're good. We're going to answer questions. I'm going to answer questions through Facebook here when we get to that, all right? So just make sure to retype those when we get to it.
Okay, our next him for week 14, Zay Flowers, Rashee Rice, a couple of receivers to choose from here. Zay Flowers and the Ravens, they're having to deal with some rain issues. Now, the wind doesn't look to be a factor so far, but just keep that in mind. Meantime, Rashee Rice and the Kansas City Chiefs, they're taking on the Buffalo Bills. Rashee Rice, in his last 2 games, has a 60% route participation, which is good for wide receivers. He also has a 30% target share in the last couple of games, so that is also good. We do know Mahomes loves throwing to Kelsey, and after that, it's been kind of a hodgepodge. He really has a hard time, or it really takes a long time for him to develop a rapport with his receivers, but it appears like he might be doing that with Rashee Rice. However, Zay Flowers, we do know that there's no Mark Andrews. We do know that is really the only, Mark Andrews is Lamar Jackson's main target, and he's out for the rest of the season. I think I like Zay Flowers better than Odell Beckham, Rashad Bateman. So I think I might go Zay Flowers here. I don't know, but I feel like it's really, really close. The Ravens are taking on the Rams at home. I think I might go Zay Flowers here.
I don't know. I think, the Rams are fighting for a playoff spot now too, out of nowhere. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'll probably go Zay Flowers. He's been, as far as just consistency, he's been the number two and now the number one for Baltimore pretty clearly, with and without Mark Andrews. So, yeah, I think I could trust that. Ravens are fighting for a number one seed overall, so they're definitely trying to win all of these remaining games to get that. And again, I think this is going to be a good game, which means there could be some points on the board, which means Zay Flowers, has a higher chance to score a touchdown in my eyes in this game. So we'll go with that one too. I'll take Zay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Derp, the weather is an issue. But remember, and what NFL teams and NFL quarterbacks will tell you, and what I've always been told, it's not the rain that worries them; it's the wind. It's always the wind. That's what's going to affect the passing game. It's not so much the rain, and I believe it's an artificial surface in Baltimore, so you're not going to really have to worry about mud or extra slippery conditions. I don't think. I'm almost certain it's an artificial surface in Baltimore. I could be wrong there, but again, it's always the wind. Although to be fair, if you have Rasheed Rice, and depending on what the rest of your roster looks like, I think you feel pretty good about starting him today. So those are a couple to consider there. All right, so if you're lucky enough to get into the playoffs, all right, let's talk about a couple of players or a handful of players and a defense that is worth stashing. Maybe you're not starting them this week. We're not saying to start them this week. In fact, the one player we're going to tell you to definitely not start this week is Matthew Stafford. He's available in 46% of Yahoo leagues. However, Derek, after this matchup against the Baltimore Ravens, which again, you are not starting Matthew Stafford if you can help it. But after this week, he takes on the Washington Commanders. They can't stop anyone. New Orleans Saints are decent. Then they finish up against the Giants at the Meadowlands. And depending on what the weather looks like, the Giants defense is trash. All right? Tucker Kraft, the tight end. Remember, Musgrave is still dealing with a lacerated spleen. He's available in 93% of Yahoo leagues. He had 6 targets last week, 3 catches. Keaton Mitchell, available in 43% of Yahoo leagues. Depending on what the rest of your roster looks like, that could be a sneaky play. Maybe you put him in a flex. And then lastly, some of you are streaming defenses. A lot of us are streaming defenses really now, right, Derek?
Yeah.
At this point of the year, consider the Indianapolis Colts, available in 63% of Yahoo leagues. And Derek, look at the lineup of quarterbacks they get to face. Starting this week, Jake Browning, yes, he starred last Monday night, but we don't know. Is he able to continue it? Is he able to sustain this? We don't know. That's yet to be determined. We do know that Mitchell Trubisky is in that Pittsburgh Steelers offense is garbage. Then they take on Desmond Ridder in the Atlanta Falcons. Desmond Ritter's not very good at this point of his career. And then they finish up with O'Connell and the Las Vegas Raiders in Week 17. So that's some good matchups right there. Worth considering, especially the defense. And also, I'm really strongly considering picking up Matthew Stafford and starting him next week because I've been kind of rotating quarterbacks. I've got Kyler Murray. Obviously, he's off. I'm having to roll with Baker Mayfield, but I think next week it could be a decision between Kyler Murray and Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I mean Stafford's a good stash, and I think I like the Tucker Kraft play too because again, he's their guy now. He had a decent amount of what you said, 6 targets last week. So I, I'm a big believer in both of those guys, especially with some of the injuries and stuff like that that's been going on this year. That depth has been important. So I'm liking those picks. Colts, I think the Colts defense is probably a really good option to have as well, just from the simple fact that you don't have to worry about a good matchup going into the playoffs with that if you have the Colts on there, even if you're stashing them, like Roflo said. So I like the Colts there as a streaming option. They don't have, great offensives that they're going to be facing after this week. So, yeah, I think that I think that I like all of those. The Keaton Mitchell one is kind of up in the air for me because he has the potential to be really great and to really go off on points. But they have Gus Edwards, who's a vulture. So, he's a touchdown vulture. So that one is it's kind of, that one's a little bit more up in the air for me, but all the other ones are I think spot on and I think are really good pickups for anybody in any league.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk daily fantasy here, and this is where I've got to have some quick fingers
Hey, phrasing.
I've got to have some quick fingers here, and let's make sure. Oh, wait a minute. How did I do this last time? No, that ain't it. That ain't it. Daily fantasy. Here we go. All right, let's talk daily fantasy, guys. This is the DraftKings scenario here.
DraftKings scenario.
Yeah, this is the lineup I'm going to go with here, and maybe we can make what we'll do, Derek, is maybe we mix and match. You kind of tell me I would remove this guy and add him, that kind of thing. But this is what I have so far. I've got Jordan.
Okay.
I've got Jordan Love at quarterback. I got Zach Moss. I like him against the Cincinnati Bengals, and yes, I know Zach Moss killed me and other fantasy managers that picked him up. He performed. He definitely underwhelmed against the Titans. I think he bounces back against the Cincinnati Bengals rush defense that can be had. There's the aforementioned Keaton Mitchell, $4,900. I'm just hoping it's a little bit of booster boom there. Romeo Doubs. Christian Watson is not going to play for the Green Bay Packers. I like this little Packers stack here against a vulnerable New York Giants defense tomorrow night. CeeDee Lamb. Yes, I'm paying up. I'm paying for it. $9,000 on DraftKings, but give me CeeDee Lamb against an Eagles secondary that has had all sorts of issues. They're giving up the most fantasy points to receivers in the NFL. There's Zay Flowers again. I might want to reconsider having two Baltimore Ravens in that mix now that I think about it. I got Tyler Conklin. Yeah, I know the conditions are horrific, but Zach Wilson, when he's in there, he's not throwing downfield. So give me Tyler Conklin. I like DJ Moore here for the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions. He had good success. I believe it was on Thanksgiving Day. Or no, not Thanksgiving Day, but a week prior to Thanksgiving against the Detroit Lions. And I like the 49ers defense. Geno Smith is, I think, a real game-time decision. Also, their two running backs are listed as questionable there.
Yeah,
so
tough.
that's what I'm thinking in the way of a daily fantasy lineup. I don't know about what you guys think.
Probably my only two replacements would be. I would probably take Flowers out just because I don't. I don't know if I trust it. And I'd probably take Conklin out.
Okay. All right. So if we take, like, for instance, we got Derp saying here he would put maybe Cortland Sutton is an option to consider here.
That's not a bad look.
Let's see. Cortland Sutton taking on the LA Chargers. We know the LA Chargers, that defense, I mean, they'll give up some points now. Cortland Sutton is going for 6,100.
That's what's tough. Yeah,
that only leaves us with 2,600 at the tight end position.
We kind of got to find a little sneaky. Go to tight ends first. Actually,
Okay.
Let's look at tight ends first. Let's see what's available.
It is. I mean, oof.
Yeah, it's bleak.
It
See,
is
the
real
problem.
bleak. I mean, it's so bleak that they've got Mark Andrews listed for
I don't know if
$2,500.
DJ Moore is worth 6,500 against Detroit.
Okay, all right. So if you take away that flex, then that gives you at basically $4,500 per player for a tight end and a flex position.
That. So we could do something like. Let me look at the.
You could
go back to tight end real quick.
You could do George Kittle. He's just under 6,000. Dalton Kincaid is at 5,500, but again, Dawson Knox is returning.
Jake Ferguson for only 4,400 seems like a steal.
I like that. I like that a lot. That gives us another buy-in.
I think him
could
and
be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I mean, him and CeeDee Lamb are the two main targets. I feel like at this point.
Yeah.
So, I feel like Ferguson at anything under 4,500 or 5,000 is a steal.
Okay. All right. X Trimmy, thanks for joining the chat for the first time.
We got to look at.
Yeah, he likes
Kraft too. Kraft too. What's Kraft going
Tucker
for?
Kraft. Let's see here. Derp was mentioning Cole Kmet as a possibility at 4,300. That's not terrible. Let me look for Kraft here. Trimmy was talking about Garrett Wilson with Zach back under center. I don't like that.
Man, Kraft for $3,000, but the Giants play tight ends decently.
Okay. All right, so we're 4,700 for tight ends. You got Darren Waller. I don't know if he's returning. It doesn't sound like he is. Cole Kmet is out there. Njoku might not be terrible. Now,
Yeah, but Ferguson for
yeah.
300 difference is probably a better play there. I don't know who to put in your flex is the problem. We got to find like a
Flex. We've already okay. Let's go. So a flex at 4,700. What does that give us? That gives us. I don't even know who T. Williams is.
All
I know.
right,
So
let's see here.
you got Deontay Johnson, or excuse me, Dearness Johnson. He's questionable. DJ Dallas. Good grief. I mean, it is bleak. Jerry
Ooh,
Judy.
you know what? Jaden Reed
Jaden Reed, I was thinking that too. So
for
that
Green Bay
basically
could be a good pick.
So basically, what this strategy here is you got a mini Packer stack and a mini Cowboy stack.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are the two to stack right now if you're going to stack any games.
Yeah. And hey, Jody, thanks for being a sub, man. He says,
I like this because then you've got Mitchell, so you've got a boom option guy here in Mitchell.
Yeah.
Moss has to play better than last week, right? So yeah, I mean,
now if we take away Keaton Mitchell, and again we're at $4,900. That's what we have left. You're looking at Mitchell, Roshan Johnson, Kareem Hunt against Jacksonville at home.
Kareem Hunt might not be a bad option.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it's between those three.
I think Hunt might be the play there.
Now remember, Isaiah Pacheco is not going to play for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh,
so you're talking
right,
about,
you're right.
If you go Jerick McKinnon, opportunities there. I just can't get with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I just can't.
No, I think it's Jerick. I think it's Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
I think that's
so
he's their catching back anyways.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
man,
so
I know it's between.
I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna write this lineup down, and I'm gonna see how we do, just for S and giggles here. Moss.
I mean, McKinnon's good value at 4,800 for really being the starter this week.
Dobbs, Lamb, Sutton. Sutton is a chat pick there. Ferguson, that was your call. That's a good one there. Jalen Reed. I like Jalen Reed, especially with no Christian Watson. And then you got the 49ers defense. So yeah, there you go. Let me get you.
I think this is a save. I think this is a save, Roflo.
Yep.
I think you save this. You put them on. Ooh, hey. Well, hey there. That was a big me. And
there you go.
I think that's going to win him some money.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. So we thought we would now let's devote to let's devote to your questions. Hi, Messi. How you doing?
We're gonna have a little bit of more time devoted to this because this is a big week this week. So
yeah. All right, let's see what we got here.
So Facebook chat, so now is the time. If you guys have questions, now is the time. Okay. So I know that you guys have been watching from my POV, but if you guys have questions, now is the time. Start putting them into the Facebook chat here, and then we'll go every other here. Okay.
Yeah. Goaty McGoat was asking about how much is Puka Nakua as they take on the Ravens. That's a good question. Okay, here's a question from Little Man. Michael Pittman, Brown, Jefferson, and Nakua. Who do I start and who should I bench?
Well, how many are you starting and how many are you benching?
Man, I need to get in some of your guys' leagues because how are you able to get Michael Pittman, A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, and Puka Nakua? I mean, those are amazing options.
So 3 can start.
I mean, I think it's Pittman, Brown, and Jefferson.
Yeah, I think Nakua is the one you sit this week.
Can you start?
Yeah.
Hey, Kenner, what's up, man? Thanks for being a sub. You too, Rizal Gaming. Let's go to you sub questions first. Stroud or Fields? Rizal, I think with the conditions there at the Meadowlands, I think I might go Justin Fields. What about you, Derek? Oops. That's not what I wanted.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Fields too, just because of the conditions. I think Lamar could have a big day still too, especially because he's gonna have to use his legs a little bit with the conditions. But I'm gonna go Fields as well. They've been DJ Moore's his guy. Run game has been pretty good, so I'll go with Fields.
Okay. Let's see what else. Lamar or Jared Goff? today? Asked Kenner. I think it's Lamar Jackson, and I really don't think it's close. I don't really like Jared Goff outside the dome. For me, it's Lamar Jackson.
I'm gonna go Jared Goff because it's a divisional game, so I think that they ball out a little bit more. I think they play better, and they want to stay in the hunt to have the best possible seed, which they're in a good spot right now. So I'm gonna go Goff on that.
Yeah. Derp asking, can you trust Kyron Williams against the Ravens defense who had a bye week to prepare? Here's what I'll say about Kyron Williams. He's approaching the territory where he is almost matchup proof.
Oh yeah,
depending on what the rest of your roster looks like, I think the floor is dependable enough where you can feel decent about starting him. Yes, it's not the greatest matchup in the world, but depending on Derp, what the rest of your roster looks like, unless you have someone extra special on the bench that I just can't think of or not aware of, I would go Kyron Williams.
So. Yeah, I think you've got to start him. I think you've got to start him this week. Like I've got Tony Pollard, who hasn't been a crazy great this year or anything.
Yeah,
he's going up against Philly this week, but I'm still starting him. Like sometimes you just gotta trust it.
Okay, this one here from Jeremy: Purdy or Fields in one league, and Fields or Minshew in the other. Ooh.
I'm gonna go Purdy in the first one.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm gonna go Purdy in the first one as well.
He's a top 5 fantasy quarterback.
Yeah,
so.
I mean you gotta start him. Just don't even think about it. However, they're taking on the Seattle Seahawks at home.
Yeah,
or Fields or Minshew in the other. Oh boy, that
I'm gonna go Minshew.
Okay,
I'm gonna go Minshew. He has a better matchup. Lions defense is tough. I think the Lions play well today. I don't know what it is. I think the Lions play well today. So I'm gonna go Minshew over the Bengals.
I do like I do like Minshew's matchup. And I like Michael Pittman today a lot. They're taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I like Zach Moss a lot, but I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Justin Fields. I feel pretty good about what he can do against this Lions defense, not only through the air, but there's always that rushing component. I feel like you're good. It's almost like you're starting the game with like 2.5 points, and then it kind of builds from there. So I think both are capable of having really good games today, but I think in that instance I would go Justin Fields. So.
No, 100%. All right, let me look through some of these questions here, chats. All right, so we've got Walker, Algier, Hawkinson, or Laporta.
Whew. Okay.
I think 2 of the 4.
Okay, so is this for a flex? Because I'm assuming, or is it Walker and Algier?
I think starting 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think starting one of starting either Walker or Algier, or starting either Hawkinson or Laporta. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're going to want to pay attention to what you're reading and hearing about Kenneth Walker. I'm assuming that's the Walker he's talking about.
Yeah.
Tyler Algier at this point is just nothing but a touchdown-dependent handcuff.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're in a pinch, if they say Walker can't start, then obviously it's Algier, but, just don't expect much. And what was the other one?
Hawkinson or Laporta, which is a better one.
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
That's a real tough one. Hawkinson or Laporta?
Justin Jefferson is coming back.
I think I might go Laporta.
I think I'm going to go Laporta, man. I'm going to go Laporta. He's a dog for them. Laporta is really good. I think I'm going to go Laporta. I feel like he almost might be just start every week now at this point.
Yeah. I think I might go Laporta too. This one here from Captain Trips: DJ Moore, Nico Collins, or Puka at wide receiver 2. That is a good one. That is a real good one. DJ Moore, Nico Collins, or Puka Nacua. Ooh.
I would normally say Nico in this situation.
Yeah.
But the weather is probably having me lean towards DJ Moore for like a safety pick.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's DJ Moore. I think it's DJ Moore. I think
Yeah, I
that's the one you got to go with. So good luck there, Captain Trips. Jody says Clee Delpit just got a 3-year, $36 million
yes,
extension.
sir.
There you
Grand
go.
Open with that
There you
extension.
go.
Let's go.
Kenner, thanks for being a sub. I'm strapped with injuries for my RB2. Not many options. Chuba Hubbard or Clyde
Ooh,
Edwards
that is not
Alaire.
many options.
Oh
God
man, I'm
dang.
sorry. I hate it. Hopefully this is not a win and you're in, because those are kind of decisions you hate having under
I'm
these kind of
I'm gonna go Hubbard. By the way, if you have to pick between those two, I'm going Hubbard.
yeah, I think I'm going Hubbard there. I just
I
can't.
don't trust, just like Ruffalo, I don't trust Clyde Edwards-Helaire at all. So I'm
Mm-mm,
not.
mm-mm. You got Jarek McKinnon there. I'm with you. I think he gets a lot of opportunities, and they love him in the passing game. So I think it's Chuba Hubbard, and you just kind of cross your fingers. Slick wanting to
Hey
know,
Kelly, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you again.
Derek, you got any more questions from your
Let me
feed?
see here. I think I got somebody that said Dobbs or Goff.
Ooh, ooh,
Dobbs or Goff.
that is a really good one.
Because the Vikings play the Raiders today. Now
They
the Raiders
do.
are coming off a bye week,
They do.
so that is something to think about.
Hmm. Ooh, boy.
I'm gonna go. I said you know what? I'm
I
gonna
think.
stick with it. I'm gonna go Goff. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Goff. I'm sticking
I.
with it. I said the Lions are gonna play well this week. I really think they are. I'm gonna go Goff. I'm gonna stick with it.
I think I'll go Goff too in that particular matchup, Goff and
That's
Dobbs.
tough though.
But
That's tough because
it's very tough.
if I didn't see Dobbs throw 4 picks last week,
Yeah.
I'd probably go Dobbs. And it's crazy, but when I I, I think it's clear. I think it's clear. And I think it's like important to understand that when a backup has a bad game like that, they usually don't bounce back very well. Like it kind of gets stuck in their head. I've seen it with almost every backup in Cleveland. I see it all the time with other backup QBs in other situations. I'm honestly curious to see how he comes
Yeah.
out this week, but that curiosity isn't going to suit me well if it's not good and I'm fighting for my playoff hope. So
Yeah.
in that instance, I think you have to go Goff.
You have to go Goff. I think he's the more he's the option that you can trust the most. And at this time of year, unless depending on what other options or your matchup looks like, you want someone that you can count on that's dependable. Little man, the Dodgers need more pitching badly. Let's see. Slick asking, how do you guys feel about starting Trevor Lawrence today in a playoff game? Well, Slick, I want to know what your other options are.
It's tough. It's in Cleveland.
Against
It's
that
going to be
defense,
cold. It's going to be really cold today.
I mean, I wouldn't start him unless you have absolutely no one else on your bench or on the waiver wire. So
yeah, it's going to be 41 in Cleveland at kickoff with wind. Yeah, I don't. That might not be a game. That might be a game to kind of steer away from too, because you've got Amari Cooper just coming back from the concussion protocol.
yeah,
So he's he should be fine, but again, we don't know who. We know who it is, but we don't know who it is as far as the quarterback is concerned. And then with the Jaguars, they're going up against a team that the Browns. It's crazy. The Browns' defense away from Cleveland has not been amazing. They've left some stuff to be desired, but their numbers in Cleveland are absolutely insane. Like 30 years, 40 years haven't seen type numbers. So I think the Browns. I think the Browns defense shows up today at home, and it's already going to be cold and stuff anyway. So I think I'm with you there.
Yeah, Ben, it is Clee. He's here every week. Every week. It's week 14. Let's see. Trevor Lawrence. I mean, look, he's
It's week 13.
he's definitely a game time decision. So it's not great. It's not great for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Slick is like, yeah, we're talking about his ankle, and then we're talking about 41 degrees in Cleveland with Myles Garrett and that defense coming after you. It's just I don't know if it's a good setup for him this week at all.
Let's see. Captain Tripp says I'm hurting at tight end. Well, we gave you a couple of options earlier. At tight end is someone like Cade Otton out there. Is Tucker Kraft
Yeah,
available?
could be a good pickup.
what about here's a name for you, Chig Okonkwo for the Tennessee Titans.
For the Titans. Yeah.
Let me see if how widely available he is. In ESPN fantasy leagues here. Okonkwo. Okay, Chiggy Okonkwo. He's available in 69% of fantasy leagues, which is nice.
Hey, phrasing.
I think I would go with Jawan Johnson.
Jawan Johnson, yes. Jawan Johnson, absolutely.
Playing Carolina.
Yep. Yeah. So there's a couple of options there for you. We had someone with a big quarterback question. Okay. Oh, it was back to Slick. He says Jake Browning is available in his league.
Dude, I don't know if I trust.
That's hard.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say that like just anybody can throw 300 yards, but I have to see it again. What?
If you're asking me,
I'll believe in it. I'll believe in it because he's got Jamar. I'll believe in it.
Because here's the question: if you're asking me, Jake Browning or Trevor Lawrence, I'm going Jake Browning, unless I hear, hey, Trevor Lawrence looked fantastic in the in warm-ups or whatever. He's a miraculous. The matchup isn't great. It's going to be cold. He's hurting. I think I might go Jake Browning there. I'm just kind of fingers crossed, man.
I'm going Browning. I'm going Browning 100% over Trevor. If it's between those two, I'm going Browning 100%.
Rizal Gaming, does Evans get a touchdown today against the Falcons? I tell you what, my man Baker Mayfield, he will not throw to anyone but Mike Evans. That's it.
Them hottie dotties.
That's it. He does not throw to anyone else besides Baker Mayfield. That's why I had to start Deontay Johnson because I lost Tank Dell. It was either Deontay Johnson or Chris Godwin, and he just refuses to throw the ball to Godwin.
Godwin got a touchdown though. I know it wasn't a receiving touchdown, all right, but he got a touchdown last week.
So
all right.
They also have Godwin playing all over the place besides the slot, and he really only excels in the slot. Is Evan Ingram a safe play today? I don't know about safe. I do know that the Browns are very good defensively. They're very good against tight ends. They're very good against wide receivers, as you would expect. But depending on what else is out there and what you have, Johnny Mac, I'm rolling with him in one league that I don't have the tight end for. Why am I drawing a blank? For the Arizona Cardinals. I got Trey McBride in a couple of leagues. So I'm having to go with Evan Ingram in one league and Dallas Goedert in another. Dallas Goedert
back. Guys.
Yeah. Dallas Goedert is returning, from his arm injury that he suffered against the Dallas Cowboys, and he's set to make his return against the Dallas Cowboys. Do I think Austin Eckler gets it going again for the playoffs? I think it depends on what you mean by gets it going. His days as a number one running back and a top fantasy player are over. Is he still an RB2, flex option? Sure. But I think to the expectation that he can carry your team to a championship, I think those days are over. You should. I think, Johnny Mac, tell me, circle back and let us know what you got in the way of what those other options look like. But Evan Ingram wouldn't be horrible. He wouldn't be horrible. Let's see. We got one more. Do we have one more?
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're good. Let's see here. No, I think we're good. Let me see if we got any more here. Evan Ingram.
Also, speaking of Austin Eckler, what did he go for last week? Don't think I forgot about that, Hutch.
What was it?
Remember, he said he'd gift us both a sub if Eckler didn't have a big game, and he said a big game was 125 yards combined in a touchdown.
Jody, you gift those subs to Derek, my man. Yeah,
well, I don't know. Did he? I don't know what his numbers were last.
Let's take a look at what Austin Eckler did last weekend. Eckler, believe it or not, is still among the league leaders in like forced missed tackles, but man, he just looks so weird. He just doesn't look like himself at
Yeah,
all.
Jody, you owe us, bro. Oh my gosh, yo, he had 18 rushing yards and 9 receiving yards.
Yeah, that's why I said it just a few seconds ago. I think the days of him carrying your team to a fantasy playoff or fantasy championship, I think those days are over. Yeah, so only about 5 points. Yep. Yeah.
That's a tough
and
look.
the other thing, Trimmy, that's the thing is like in the past, Eckler was good for receptions. Now he's not getting those, which is weird. And that really hurts his value. Circling. Hi, La Parca. How you doing, man?
Brandon says, I'm
Yeah.
just going to say it. Denzel Ward is the most injury-prone player I've ever seen. And I understand where people could come with that, but it's actually crazy, and I learned this too. It feels like he misses games every season, but he's never played less than 12 games in any season of his career. So
Yeah,
he's
that's not
pretty
too injury.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a little bit of a stigma with him because he's hurt every year.
Yeah.
But it's never been anything that's kept him out for an entire season or anything that's kept him out for an extended period of time. So I'm kind of like in between on that because I expect him to get hurt every year, but I expect it to only be 2 or 3 weeks every year. So,
Hey, and JH, thanks for being a sub, man. And JH brings up a good point, circling back to Austin Eckler. Brandon Staley talked about Derek this past week that he like hinted that there could be a competition for carries in the backfield. I mean, I just don't want.
he has no burst anymore. Like we saw it a couple weeks ago when he had that breakaway
Yeah.
chance. I forget who it was against, but he had this breakaway chance and literally just got hawked from behind by like 3 different guys because it's one of those things where it's like he just doesn't have the burst to just break through anymore.
Yeah.
So I think Kelly might be, I mean, maybe you stash him. Maybe he's a little sneaky stash
Yeah,
right
I mean,
there.
I don't particularly like Joshua Kelly all that much, but if you're telling me he, is going to be getting his fair share, maybe he takes over RB. I don't know, but just something to monitor for sure. Let's see. Yeah, Zod, thanks for being a supporter. He says, I would say Kadarius Toney is more injury
Yeah, I'm
prone.
not going to argue that at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, Kelly hasn't looked great, but the thing is they got to have somebody play. They got to have somebody run the ball. So
Yeah,
it's,
someone. Let's see if there's any more before we get into the picks. By the way, I went 9-3 last week, and you went
I'm just gonna
6-6. So
how did I go 6-6?
I don't know. It's
The
just-
3 games that we split on, you won all of them, or the
Yeah, I've got
What?
it. I'll send you the photo. I've got it.
Nah, bro. Nah,
I'm
hey,
I'm
Rofo's
telling you,
cheating, chat.
I'm not.
Rofo's cheating, bro.
I'm not.
There's just no way.
I'm not.
There's
I'm
no
not.
way.
I'm not, dude.
I'm gonna just send him these subs right now, dog. Oh my god. I'm literally sending. Here, I'm gonna send half of these right now. chat.
No.
I'm sending 2 subs right now.
Okay.
I'm sending 2 right now, and I'm gonna send the rest when it's over with. I gotta have some heart still, chat.
Derek giving a sub to Darsim and Minard. Be sure to say thank you to your boy CLE. Okay, so let's circle back to Johnny Max's tight end question. Derek, he says he has Cole Kmet, Kyle Pitts, and Isaiah. Wait, is that
Isaiah Likely?
Isaiah Likely?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know of a lively.
I'm out on Pitts. I'm not doing anything with. Look, I've got Bijan Robinson in one league, and I'm not doing any more
He said,
Falcons.
I'm done.
I'm done with Arthur Smith. So
Arthur
out.
Smith is killing us.
I'm out on Kyle Pitts. It's just not worth it. Now, is it Cole Kmet or is it? Are we thinking that's Isaiah Likely? Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, that's Isaiah Likely for sure.
Cole Kmet or Isaiah I mean, it's got to be Likely. I mean, he right now on ESPN rankings.
All right.
I'm
going Pitts.
Wow.
I'm going Pitts. They're playing Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay secondary is horrendous. Linebackers are they're decent. They get beat in coverage though sometimes.
Yeah.
The Falcons,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with Pitts, man. I know. Ruffalo hates me right now.
No.
I'm gonna go with Pitts.
Okay. Yeah, and you know what? Here's the I would say that if you're asking me who has the most upside, I would say it's Pitts because that's a dude that can, he can run, you can take one to the house depending on what side of the field you're on. He's got a ton of ability, what makes it even more frustrating why they never throw him the ball. But if you're asking me for who has the better floor, it's Isaiah Likely. Captain Tripp says I dropped Pitts weeks ago. Hey, you're not the only one, man. He's a very, very frustrating player. There are a very, very frustrating coaching staff over there. Okay,
Don't worry. I thought Cam Akers was going to be good this year. So, we all make mistakes, boys.
Man.
We all make mistakes. I pretty much wasted a draft pick on Cam Akers this year, and we still finished in the 3 spot.
There you go.
We'll take it.
There you go. Okay, so let's get to the pick'em here, and kind of get out of here on a pick'em note here.
Man, I gotta go against Roflo on everything just to even have a chance at this point. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'll go first on every pick. So
you go first every pick, and then I'll make a decision.
Yes, I think that's a good way.
Decision.
That's a good way to proceed from here. Bucks and Falcons in Atlanta. The Bucks are a 1.5 point underdog on the road. I'm going to take the Bucks. I'm just You're going to go with the Bucks?
He knows I can't pick against Baker Tutty Baker.
Oh, okay. So you're going Bucks too. All
I'm
right.
going Bucks.
Colts, Bengals. I'll take the Bengals at home. I'll take the Bengals.
I'm going to take the Colts.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Colts.
Okay.
Come on, Colts.
Jags, Browns. I'll help you out here a little bit. I'll go Jags. I know you're going to take the Browns.
I am, but man, it's going to be a close game again, I feel like.
Texans, Jets. I'm taking the Jets.
You're actually lying right now.
Dude, I'm telling you.
No.
I'm telling you.
You are joking. This man has the smallest faith I've ever seen.
I know.
It's Texans all day.
Okay.
What are we doing, Roflo?
Okay.
Thank you, though. I'll take it. I'll take the free win. Thank you.
Rams and Ravens in Baltimore. I'll take the Ravens.
I am going to go. I got to go Rams. I have to go Rams because I have to try to make up these games.
Okay.
I have to try to make up these games.
This is interesting. Lions, Bears in Chicago. Lions. Are a 3.5 point favorite. Okay.
I'm going Lions right off the rip. I've been saying they're going to play well all day. If I didn't pick the Lions, I'd be a hypocrite.
Panthers, Saints.
Who are you going with?
Oh, I'm going Lions too.
Oh, right.
I'm going to take the Saints over the Panthers.
God, yeah.
In New Orleans.
How could I take I have to take the Saints. There's no way I can take the Panthers. They're booty.
Okay. All right.
They're bad.
Yeah, they're real bad. By the way, another maybe sneaky ad to consider for in the playoffs. Keep an eye on Jonathan Mingo of the Carolina Panthers.
That's true.
Adam Thielen's production is steadily declining, and Mingo is ascending a little bit. Obviously, the Panthers aren't any good. Bryce Young has really struggled, but keep an eye on Jonathan Mingo for your maybe fantasy playoff hopes, or if you're hurting at receiver. Vikings, Raiders in Vegas. Minnesota is a 3-point road favorite. I'm going to go Vikings.
I am going Raiders.
The
Raiders.
All right. Seahawks, 49ers in Santa Clara.
49ers.
Yep. Broncos, Chargers in LA. Go, Chargers, go.
Go, Chargers, go.
I think the Broncos get a win.
All right, so I'm going Chargers.
All right.
I mean, my decisions are pretty easy right now, chat. So,
yep. Packers, Giants in the Meadowlands tomorrow night. Remember, you have 2 Monday night games happening at the same time, Derek. I'm going to go with
forgot about that.
I'm going to go with the Packers.
Yeah, I'm going Packers.
Okay. Hey, TJ, how you doing, man? Thanks for being a sub. And then we got Titans, Dolphins also on Monday night. It's Dolphins at home.
Yeah, Dolphins. And then we got Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys.
Yep. Okay. Oh, how did I forget about Bills, Chiefs? What's going on?
That's okay. Things happen out here.
Bills, Chiefs. That is in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Ooh. God, this game is
in KC.
Man, I can't see the Chiefs losing again.
Listen, whatever Roflo says, I have to go the opposite.
All
so
right.
You guys know my answer.
I'm gonna go Chiefs. You're going Bills.
I'm going Bills.
And then the Sunday night game, I think the Cowboys blow out the Eagles.
Dang it! I thought he was gonna pick the Eagles. I thought I'd make up one here.
Yeah, no, I just you're going Cowboys too.
I have to go Eagles now. I have to.
All right.
I have to try to make up these games, Chad. This is the only way. This is
right.
the way.
This is the way. Hey, JH, how you doing, man? That's true. Every Chargers home game is an away game. You're absolutely right.
No, I mean that's not a lie at all.
All right, everyone, that is going to do it. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Have a great Sunday. I hope that you make the fantasy playoffs. I don't know why this.
Crush says nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
That's it.
I believe it this week. Dang it, let's go.
That's it. We'll be back with you again next week. Have a great one. We will see you again. When's the next time you're streaming, Derek?
Probably later tonight. I've been on Call of Duty really lately. I don't know why I'm so obsessed right now, but I'm playing it a lot.
Okay.
But having said that, appreciate you guys. I hope that the extended kind of help there today is going to help you guys, and I'm really excited for next week's when the playoffs start. Make sure you guys are tuned in next week, man. Playoffs. We're going to have the answers for you, or at least we're going to try to have the answers for you. And hopefully we can see some fantasy championships out of ourselves and out of some of you guys. So
there you go.
I'm excited.
All right. So until next Sunday, we'll see you on our respective streams throughout the week. Remember, you can follow Derek at twitch.tv/yourboycle, facebook.com/yourboycle, kick.com/yourboycle. It's
We're
everything.
everywhere, baby.
Everywhere. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you later.
Have a great one, everybody. Peace.
Bob.